Hello, folks. This story was sent to me by a subscriber and is intended for educational purposes only. Thank you for watching. 430 grams. Magic mushroom. My fridge wrote a novel about me, and it wasn't very flattering. I took the mushrooms in my kitchen, mostly because it felt like neutral territory. The stove didn't judge. The toaster had seen worse. And the fridge... Well, I thought the fridge and I had a decent relationship. I ground the 4.3 grams into a peanut butter and honey sandwich and ate it while humming a song I didn't know, but felt like I should. About 30 minutes in, the grout between the floor tiles began suggesting shapes, and my chair tried to scoot away from me, which seemed reasonable. It started slow. The usual warmth, waves of realization. I was aware of how loudly the clock ticked. I was aware of my breathing, and then somehow of my great-grandmother's breathing. I had never met her, but suddenly I knew she once burned a pie and never forgave herself. I forgave her on behalf of the universe, and everything shimmered slightly. Then I turned toward the fridge. It lit up, not from the inside, from the outside, like it had just been acknowledged by a divine editor. I swear I heard a tiny bell. A slot opened where the freezer handle should be, and a stack of pages fluttered out like a printer sneezing. They landed at my feet. On the front page, in delicate cursive, a cold reflection, the autobiography of you as told by your fridge. I picked it up. The paper smelled like leftovers and destiny. Chapter 1 was titled The Forgotten Yogurt Incident of 2018. It was deeply detailed. I had no idea the fridge had been paying attention to that level. There were footnotes. There were timestamps. It even quoted my internal monologue from that day. Something about procrastinating grocery day and the mystery of expiration dates. I flipped ahead, and Chapter 4 was titled, That Week You Only Ate Cereal and Shame. Chapter 9 simply said, Popcorn at 3 a.m. and Existential Crisis, #12. I was starting to sweat. The fridge rumbled gently, like it was clearing its compressor. Keep reading, it said. It gets worse. I flipped to Chapter 13, which was just a series of photographs. Psychic photographs of me standing in front of the open door, staring blankly, hoping something new would appear. Every photo looked slightly sadder than the last. I closed the book and asked, Why are you doing this? The fridge responded by slowly opening its door. Inside was not food. It was a miniature stage, complete with velvet curtains and a spotlight. A tiny actor, dressed exactly like me, emerged and began performing a monologue about indecision and microwave dinners. The performance was hauntingly accurate. I applauded out of panic. Then things got weird. The linoleum floor opened up like a puzzle and folded itself into a spiral staircase. I had no choice. I descended. Each step played a sound, a moment of audio from my past. An apology I never made. A laugh I faked. A voicemail I deleted without listening to. I reached the bottom, which was not a basement, but a memory I didn't know I had. I was 9 years old, arguing with a vending machine at a roller rink. The vending machine turned around and said, You never learned to process disappointment, did you? I tried to respond, but my mouth was full of jelly beans and metaphors. Then I was back in the kitchen. I was a blender, not metaphorically. I had blades and a cord and an urge to puree trauma. I was surrounded by other kitchen appliances, all animated, all watching me. The coffee maker looked concerned. The toaster had a monocle. The kettle whispered, "He's having a self-awareness surge. Back away." Suddenly I exploded into a million labels. Nutritional facts, expiration dates, cryptic slogans, all. I became every product I'd ever stored. For one brief but infinite moment, I was the essence of cold cuts. I understood deli meat in a way no human ever should. The fridge whispered, "You cannot hide in snacks forever." The room rotated. Gravity felt like a suggestion. My body returned, piece by piece, like a lazy Lego set assembling itself. I found myself sitting cross-legged on the kitchen floor, crying softly into a paper towel while the dishwasher hummed a lullaby. The fridge had gone silent, but the autobiography remained on the floor beside me. It had added a new chapter while I was gone. Chapter 17. Redemption starts with soup. I nodded slowly. I stood up, made myself a cup of tea, and apologized out loud to the fridge. It didn't respond, but the light inside it flickered slightly, which I took as forgiveness. I placed a manuscript on a shelf, next to cookbooks I'd never opened. I didn't eat anything else that night. I didn't need to. Sometimes, when I open the fridge now, I hear the rustle of unseen pages, and I whisper, "Not today."